This is a quick look at charting options using TradingView.com. I'll split this into a few different sessions, starting with just the basics, creating a new chart, navigating around. We're going to look at a few different charts that I've set up. The one on the left here is an overview of the market. It's showing 6 different major coins. Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, Litecoin, and Ripple, which is XRP. We'll look at a chart based on one single coin, including some indicators like these bands that we're seeing, the RSI chart down the bottom, and we'll also look at how to compare two comparisons side by side. In this case, we're comparing Bitcoin at one exchange versus Bitcoin at another exchange to see if there's any price differences. All right, let's look at creating a new chart. So this is essentially the file new option. So you need to find this thing that looks like a little cloud. The name here is just the name of the chart, so that will be different. We'll create a new chart layout. And by default, it's showing Bitcoin at the Bitfinex exchange. I'm not sure if you get this every time you create a new chart, so you need to check this, expand that to find out what coin it's currently looking at. From here I can zoom in and out time. So this is the 9th through to the 11th of February. If I scroll the mouse wheel, it zooms in and out on those time periods. I can change the time frame that I'm looking at. So we've got 30 minutes, 10 minutes. Now what that means is if I'm on the 30-minute unit, each bar down the bottom represents 30 minutes. So it's not 30 minutes from the left to the right, it's 30 minutes on each of these bars down the bottom. What else can we do? We can change the axis here. So this is representing the price. So the price is currently 7,951. If I right click on the axis, I can change it to show me a percentage. So this is now saying it is increased by 3.97% from the start of this chart. So from the left here, this is, what is that? That's about 9 a.m. in the morning on the 8th of January. Oh, sorry, 6:30. So from that time, it increased 3.97%. This percentage will change. If I click on the chart and drag left, you'll notice that the percentage changes. This time it's saying it's only 1.5% increase because the start time over here had a different price. It's difficult to get out of this percentage mode. You notice if I click on it, oh, that time it worked. Sometimes it doesn't work. So if you can't get out of the percentage mode, what you need to do is choose one of these 3 options and then click again, and now you'll find the percentage option will be available. We can also we can draw directly on the chart, so I can click on here and just draw a line to represent whatever I want. Maybe I'm trying to show a trend between what's going on. So you typically pick the highs or low points. And the funny thing about stock and coin prices is they tend to match up to prior prices. So you can see here if you map various prices, they tend to align fairly well. There's another good example here where we're going down there. So you tend to find a lot of alignment over time between the highs and lows. You can draw other types of lines. So if you click on the tiny little arrow there, you've got other line options. I tend to either just draw free format or use horizontal or vertical lines. So there's a hotkey for that, Alt-H and Alt-V for horizontal and vertical. So I've now put what I'd usually use this for is to highlight a major psychological resistance line. So like the 9,000 or 8,000 line. If I double click on that, I can edit that. So now I'm showing a line there at 9,000. So I would normally draw these at the major lines where I think there's going to be resistance or support. So 1,000 lines, and sometimes the 500 points, 8,500, you might see, you can see right there at 8,500, this price bounced off that. So you typically find there's either resistance or support at those price points. We can draw text on the screen. So just click there. Draw some text. So I might want to type in and highlight why a price limit up or down, just so for future reference, if I come back in, I'll be able to see that text. One thing I forgot to mention about the lines. With the vertical lines, I can draw a vertical line at each start of day, so at midnight. So I'll put one there, and I can actually just create another one by holding down the control key and then dragging. So now I've got lines at midnight. I don't like the way that it covers up the bottom here. Now, if I zoom right in, I can't see that that is 4 a.m. because it's covered up. So instead of using a vertical line, I'll usually just draw a trend line at midnight. And that way, my line there doesn't cover up the text at the bottom. And typically I have say a black line to represent the start of today at midnight. On the previous day, I'll have another one in a different color. I often use brown for 1 day prior. And I'll have another one to represent 1 day prior to that. And that's about as far as you go back with crypto. You know, looking at the last 2 or 3 days is usually good enough for most analysis. Okay, so at the moment we're looking at Bitcoin on the Bitfinex exchange. I can change that on this chart. So without needing to create a brand new chart, I can just change the existing chart. So I've got a number of my favorite coins set up already. I can just click on those, or I can add a new one. So just type in something. What have we got? Bitcoin Gold. Got no idea what that is, but I can just click on that. And now it hasn't actually added it to the chart over here. It's added it to my favorites list. So now I can click on that, and it's now showing that new coin. I don't know if you can change the coin directly here. I've never tried that actually. I don't know. Maybe you can change it by just clicking around this top part. I'll take it off the favorites list. Go back to Bitcoin. So that's one way to change the stock. You can also add another stock. So I'm currently looking at Bitcoin. If I want to add another coin to monitor on the same chart, this doesn't work. If I click here, this is changing what it's monitoring. I want to add a second one. So to do that, I don't look at this part of the screen. Instead, I go up to here. There's my stock symbol. Click on that. Type in the one that you want to monitor. So I'll add Ethereum to the chart. So it's automatically searching. And I normally want to compare it to US dollars or USDT, which is Ripple. That's a stable coin. And I would normally pick either Bitfinex because that's the largest exchange in the world, so it's the most representative of the market prices, or I would want to show Binance, which is my local exchange. I can't see Binance on the list, so I might need to scroll down. Actually, there's another way you can do this. You can search by exchange. So if you type in the name of your exchange, colon, then you can search for something within that exchange. So there's Ethereum compared to Tether USDT at Binance. Okay, so now I've got 2 coins on the chart, and I can keep adding those. I normally have one overview chart that shows about 6 of the major coins on the screen. I tend to standardize the colors across all of my charts. So anytime I look at a chart, the color immediately tells me which coin it is. So I'm using a dark or sort of bright blue for Bitcoin, a lighter blue for Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum is purple, Litecoin is orange, and Ripple, or XRP, is a dark green. And then on this chart, this is also showing one other coin, which could be one of those coins that is already in that list. So I tend to use black for that because I might change that to anything else. I might change that to Neo. All right, so this at the top there, this is the one coin that you're looking at, and that's represented in black. All of these other coins are the secondary ones on the chart. Okay, that's it for that introduction. Oh, actually, I should mention how to save. If you have a TradingView plan that allows you to save charts, then you can click on here. There'll be a save option. You can also just click right there, and it will save that chart. I have noticed it tends to automatically save as you go along, so I have to make a copy of the chart just so I've got a good backup of it at a good frozen point. Okay, that's it for part one. I'll show some other features of TradingView in the next video.